Well, I think, the market was generally of the view that we are going to be seeing a series of rate cuts this year. And there was a huge debate, would it be March or would it be May or possibly June? And what we've seen is the Fed basically confirm that it's highly unlikely that it's going to be as soon as March. They just want to see a little bit more information. But when that information does prove to be conducive to getting rates lower, they will certainly open the floodgates and we will get a whole series. And I certainly agree with the market pricing. We're looking for 150 basis points of rate cuts this year with a further 100 basis points in the first half of next year. And even that wouldn't necessarily get us back to this neutral level that the Fed potentially is going to aim for.
So expand on that timeline for me. As you say, markets are now pricing in later cuts. The house view is May over March. So what does the speed and depth of those cuts look like through this year and next year? Can you step it out on a month-by-month basis for me?
Yeah, basically, we're looking for a 25 basis point cut at each and every meeting from May onwards, right through until the second quarter of next year. I think the inflation backdrop is looking much more favourable. The Federal Reserve's favoured measure of inflation is there or thereabouts. It's certainly tracking on a month-on-month basis in the right region. Today or yesterday's data on the employment cost story, another favoured Fed measure, very, very encouraging. And also, I guess, also look at the falling quits rates. That suggests that employees are happy to stay where they are. The franticness in the jobs market is certainly receding. And I think all of those factors, we will continue to get more and more evidence of that. And that will just pave the way for the Fed to just go slow and steady, 25 basis points each step. And we think we'll get down to 3% in the second quarter of next year.
James, I think you make a great point in your most recent note, because this is really a question of credibility for the Fed. We know Chair Powell was stung on the inflation is transitory line that they pushed through COVID, and getting the timing and the messaging around these cuts is really critical for the credibility of the Federal Reserve moving forward. So let's play a game. If you had to score Chair Powell on the credibility scale, 0 being no credibility, 10 being more trustworthy than your own mother, where would you put him right now?
I mean, I think, obviously we did see the Fed wasn't alone in talking about the inflation as transitory back in 2021 and then having to reverse course and implement the most rapid and aggressive period of rate hikes for 40 years over the subsequent 2 years. Having to, or choosing to cut rates and then having to reverse course would just be hugely damaging, especially in an election year that politicians could jump all over the Fed on. And I just think that makes the Federal Reserve a little bit more cautious, a little bit more conservative. And I think, to be honest, credibility-wise, I think Chair Powell handled it very, very well yesterday. We would certainly agree with his mindset and the way he characterised the situation. So, I'd give him a very respectable 7 to 8.